Day, as I mentioned a moment ago, started life in Italy and is now on his way to the North Pole via Reading. If you see him dragging an 18-inch vehicle tyre behind him as he runs through the park, there's no cause for concern. It'll only be bird of prey rescuing, harmonica playing,
Yes.
Reiki healing,
Correct.
Luca Esposito, revving up for his trek across the polar ice.
Hi, Bill.
Hello. He's even having to change his body shape to do it.
That's right, yes.
That's quite a big, because we are very aware, I think, of our physical image, and you hear of actors and actresses like losing 2 stone, even if they're not fat, or gaining 3 stone for a film role, and I've always thought, I couldn't do that. I just couldn't let myself do that. But you're having to do that, aren't you?
Yeah, that's part of the challenge is to just gain body weight and body mass before the expedition. So I'm quite a skinny guy. 60 kilograms. So in the last...
Which is, how many pounds? 2.2 in a pound, 60, 120, 130... 10 stone, just under 10 stone?
And just under 10
yes.
stones.
But you're not terribly tall, so
no,
you're not that skinny. In fact, you look in great shape already, actually.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So in the last 3 months, just gained around about 6-7 kilos, so an extra stone.
A stone, wow.
And
how does that feel to suddenly be a stone bigger?
It's awkward. It's strange.
None of your clothes fit for a start.
Correct, yeah. And yeah, I feel like I'm slowing down. I tend to be very dynamic. I walk very fast. Where now I'm kind of, everything is kind of slower now.
Gosh. Where's it going on?
Upper body and legs.
Right.
And unfortunately around the belly.
Yeah.
So, but there would be a great,
But it's not flab that's going on. It's solid stuff.
It is.
Because you go to the gym a lot. What else do you have to do apart from? How many calories a day do you have to eat now?
Well, at the moment I'm eating around about 3,000 calories a day. But when I'm going to be on the North Pole, it's going to be around about 7,000 calories a day.
Right. But of course, the average man needs 2,500, I think. So,
yeah,
so even that is 20% more than recommended, which over a period of time is going to put the weight on.
And I'll tell you, if you're not used to eat that much, I know this is gonna sound strange, but it is hard to eat a lot. It's just hard. At least, I find it extremely hard.
I was debating this with Anne Diamond earlier, and but on the face of it, it's like workers at Cadbury's. Apparently, they say eat as much chocolate as you like, and everybody goes whoopee. Yeah. And by the second week, they're not eating a single chocolate. Yes. And I imagine to be able to eat as much as you like is great for 5 minutes, and then very difficult. Yeah,
you need to be able to diversify your diet and eat different things in different times of the day, so that you don't really get bored, and you kind of try to stimulate your appetite all the time. But
what are the good foods for putting the right sort of weight on?
Well, fish is great.
Is it?
Yeah, it contains a lot of oils, and that helps not only your articulations but also to put good body fat. And then lots of meat. I'm also using...
So you still can't have as much apple crumble and custard and bars of chocolate and pints of bitter as you would like, then?
Well, I've been
darn it.
I'm trying to eat as much of that as possible, but I need to be careful with my cholesterol, right?
Yes.
I need to
you could do it that way then, if there were no other consideration. Do it that way.
You could, yes, but it probably wouldn't be great from a cholesterol level point of view. But yeah, and then I'm using some food supplements to help me with that. Right. They're very light on the leaves, so that basically I just take the food supplements once or twice a day.
And you're not sitting around in the evening, because we've all overeaten at various times. We know the feeling of, oh, why did I do that? And you've got your stomach sticking out. None of that going on.
None of that going on. No. I'm trying to spread all these calories and food across the
across
15
the day.
hours, yeah.
How much? You've put a stone on already. How much more are you supposed to put on?
I'm going for... I really want to leave UK with an extra 3-4 kilos on, so I'm aiming for 68, 69
So you've broken the back of it now, basically.
Yeah,
you're over halfway there.
Correct,
yes, okay. Right, which takes us on to why you are doing it and what exactly this trek involves.
Well, I get a lot of that recently. The very different reasons. I always lived my life with in the last 17 years. I've done lots of things. I'm very and I always try to challenge myself in different ways, changing jobs, changing countries, learning new things, and and around about 6 years ago, I did the Walk of Santiago in North Spain.
Is that the pilgrim's route?
Correct, yes, the pilgrim's route.
I've done that by car, yes.
Yeah.
Lovely.
I walked that.
Beautiful part of the country.
Fantastic. Just fantastic. 850 kilometers in 27 days. And that was great. And right at the end of it, I thought, well, it really brought me into a state of mind which is completely different compared to the everyday state of mind. So, you know, we live our life, we pay our bills, we work, get to work, catch train, blah, 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 all that good stuff. But you never get the chance to know yourself and get in touch with that part of yourself. But you will never get a chance to unless you put yourself and your body into a very uncomfortable environment.
What did you find out about yourself then?
Well, you learn very basic things. You learn how strong you are, and you learn how to approach problems, how to approach risk, how to read people, how to work in a team. You learn a lot about your sense of taking care of yourself and always look after yourself, doesn't matter what.
So it's not a spiritual thing. You don't go to another place as such. It's fairly practical stuff.
It can get spiritual. It can get after 5-6 days, you can get into a different state of mind where you really clear your mind. You just don't really think about anything, but at the same time you think about of all your life. It's a very strange type of feeling. And this is what I had when I walked on the
I mean, that would be enough for most people. It's a hell of a long walk.
It is a long walk.
But it's now made you, it's spurred you on to do this, I'm assuming, far more difficult thing, trekking to one of the poles.
I've never done anything like this before, ever. So this is going to be the ultimate challenge for me. And I don't think it's going to be the last one. I'm already thinking
Let's
about the
hope
next
not.
one.
If you see what I mean.
Not sure. Well,
is it very dangerous?
I think it's going to be very challenging. In a sense, it is going to be dangerous because we're going to walk on black ice, and but because Alan Chambers, our guide, is going to guide us through the North Pole, is going to take us into a safe path. So we won't risk any. Walking to thin ice or anything like that.
Because to you and me, it would look exactly like the thick ice, but he can tell the difference.
Correct, yes.
Okay. And of course, we should also say you're doing it for the NSPCC.
Absolutely, yeah.
Why particularly that cause?
Well, I'm very close to. It's a great cause. I mean, my wife Sabrina and I, we won't have kids. So, and it is something that's it really means a lot in my life. To what's the meaning of being on this planet? It's not only working and pay your bills. You need to make sure that there's going to be a next generation which is going to take care of other human beings and
take care of us for a start when we're old and in need. Yeah.
Correctly, yeah. So we need to take care of future generations, and we need to change their present. So that's our future.
We'll go into the details of the trekking.
bbc.co.uk/iPlayer.
Afternoon, this is Bill Buckley. I'm talking at the moment to Luca Esposito, who is Italian, I might suggest, but these days he's a Reading computer worker, and he's on his way to the North Pole. He's doing it partly because he wants to, and to challenge it for himself, and also to raise money for the NSPCC. Do we know how much you might raise in it?
Right, so far I've raised £9,000.
Good.
Yeah, pretty good. But target of £40,000, and we have a big event at the end of February, the 22nd of February, the club, where we hope to raise around about £20,000 that night.
What are you doing in one night to make?
We have like tents. Each table sits up to 10 people, and we've structured a really nice evening. Champagne reception, 3-course dinner. Then we have two speakers. Alan Chambers, the guide, that's going to take me today to North Pole. It's a motivational, and speaker is going to give a speech on leadership. And David Tate, who has climbed Mount Everest 4 times, and he's going to climb the Everest for the 5th time in April without oxygen. And and then we're gonna have a raffle and an auction.
good.
So there are still 3 tables available. So if
Okay.
anyone out there, any company out there looking to sponsor one table or buy tickets, they can contact me. And
Fingers crossed.
fingers
yes.
crossed. Yes.
Tell me about the journey itself then. I mean, for a start, where do you start? How far away are you when you start from the pole?
So we leave on the 31st of March from Heathrow, and we arrive to a place in Norway called Longyearbyen,
Right.
and which is a small island, and we stay there a couple of days to acclimatize and check our gear and get used with pack the sledges and so on. And then after a couple of days we have a big Russian cargo plane in Antonov coming down to pick us up, and then after 2 hours and a half flight we will be landing in an ice camp called Barnio, which is an ice camp set up by the Russians, and every year they set up this camp from scratch.
What country will you be in by then?
Well, there will be North Pole, even if he's not considered as a Russian, but it seems that...
Doesn't the country's name as such attached to it?
As far as I know, no, but...
Must belong to somebody, mustn't it?
Yeah,
Doesn't everywhere in the world?
I think that Russians, they kind of own the right to set up this camp, because
Right.
they started, I think it was 1996 when they started to set up the ice camp.
Okay.
And then, we will land on ice.
An aeroplane landing on ice?
Yes, they built the...
Is this wise, Mr. Mannering? Oh, blimey.
Well, yeah, it sounds, but it's actually completely safe. There's nothing you can crash into it for miles, so it will be fine.
No, you can't overrun the end of the runway like
Correct, yes.
most air travel can. Okay, and how many of you will there be?
It'll be 5 of us, plus Alan, and a Russian guide, so it is always safe to have 2 guides just in
But it's
case.
quite a big plane because of all the stuff you need then, as opposed to the people on the plane.
Yes,
yeah.
big plane. And I think we will be. There will be other people coming from different countries
Yes.
on the plane.
So once you set off then, how many of you will there be then?
6.
Oh, so the others from the other countries aren't coming to join you,
No,
with you?
there's going to
No?
be different
They
groups.
go in their own little
Yeah.
group, yeah.
Yes.
Okey
Each
doke.
one is going to pick a different route.
And at the base camp then, what would is it? Are you in tents by now? Are you sleeping overnight in that sort of
Yes.
accommodation by now? Right. Okay.
Yes. So in Longyearbyen we're going to stay in a guest house for a couple of days, and then when we
Treasure every moment of it, Luca.
absolutely that's my last shower.
Yes.
It's going to be like my last shower for the next couple of weeks, and then at the ice camp, yes, they have all the tents, and we're going to be there for a couple of hours, do all the safety check, talk about communication, rescue plans, blah 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 blah, and then we'll set
Off you go.
Yeah.
And this is with Huskies pulling sledges?
Nope.
This is you pulling sledges?
Yes, I will be pulling my own sled. Yeah.
Everybody pulls their own sledge?
Yes, correct. Yeah, around about 50 kilos weight.
50
yeah.
kilos, 100 pounds, 110 pounds. Yeah, right.
Sorry, that's...
No, well, I mean,
so-
some younger British people now do think in metric,
All
but
right,
we older ones, although we understand it, we still have to do a calculation in our head to really understand what we're talking about. It's a lot of weight, anyway.
It is quite a
That's
lot,
for sure, yeah. And you were saying that at the moment you're eating about 500 calories more per day than the recommended thing.
Yes.
But that'll go up presumably quite a lot, will it?
Correct, yeah. And once we're going to be on ice, we'll be walking for 8 hours, so we'll be stopping every hour and then back, so that we can put some extra calorie in, and so we're gonna have a break every hour,
Wow.
probably eating around maybe 500 calories every break.
And at the end of the working stroke walking day, you just pitch your tents again at a convenient
Yes,
place, do you?
after
And,
8
yeah.
hours of hard walking, it will take us 3 hours to set up the tents, make sure that everything is fine in the tents, start to cook, melt ice, and
We pause now to hear his choice of